To you, ladies and gentlemen, once again. The Ministry of the National Guard participate every year in the Hajj security as well as other services. The government of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz and His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdul Aziz, as well as the Minister of the National Guard, His Royal Highness Prince Mit'ab bin Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz, have great directions to all the forces and the sectors in the military, in the National Guard, as well as in the security forces to provide all the services to ensure the harmony and to ensure the security of the pilgrims, because it's essential. Without security, nothing can be done. The main concern for all the government's bodies in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia under the leadership as well as the security forces, the commanders, the officers, the soldiers, and the people of Saudi Arabia are proud and will continue to be proud of serving the pilgrims and the guests of Almighty God, seeking the rewards from Almighty God alone. We're not seeking any reward from any government or from anybody. Saudi Arabia will provide those services as long as we live to ensure the harmony, the security of the pilgrimage. I'm glad and honored as last year to meet with His Excellency Major General Saad bin al-Harthy, the commander of the National Guard Ministry force participating in the Hajj this year. Major General, I want to welcome you, sir, to Saudi too.
Welcome.
Major General, first of all, as I said in my introduction, the security of the pilgrimage and the pilgrims themselves is the main concern of the Saudi leadership, of the ministers, of their Royal Highnesses, the princes, the ministers, as well as you, the commanders, the officers, as well as the soldiers and the people of Saudi Arabia. What is the role of the Ministry of the National Guard and the Hajj in particular?
If we are talking about the security role, then we are talking about the mission they are controlling in Mina, also in Haram. That's regarding the security. Mainly the National Guard is aware of the security of the nation and the pilgrimage. So we are aware of that. Annually we come here in order to help in securing the holy sites and securing the pilgrims in order to achieve their ritual.
Major General Saad, the role of the National Guard does not only include security but other services that you do provide through the season for all the pilgrims as well as the citizens that are in Mecca and the surrounding area, especially in the holy sites. Could you explain and elaborate a little bit about generally the services that you provide as the Ministry of the National Guard and the participating force of the National Guard under your command?
Under my command, we are only dealing with the security missions. But the
other missions
other
also
for the ministry,
other force.
You know, they are doing the medical support for the pilgrims. We have here in Mina a 40-bed field hospital, and we have two centers, one in Mina, one in Muzdalifah, one in Arafat, and those provide some medical service for the pilgrims. Beside that, we have support also from the medical city in Jeddah,
the King Abdulaziz Medical City in Jeddah,
and King Khalid Hospital
King
also
Khalid
there
Hospital,
is providing the required medical help or support for their pilgrims.
The viewers, just to remind you, 1,400 heart surgeries were performed for pilgrims inside the holy sites so far in this season. This is only the open heart surgery. Imagine imagine yourselves how the medical services are provided for the pilgrims when you have 2.6 millions moving from a place to another. Major General, also the crowd management. Saudi Arabia has been famous in crowd management because moving 2 million people plus from a confined area to another confined area to another smaller area, from Al-Haram to Mina to Muzdalifah to Arafah, back to Muzdalifah to Mina. That is a great movement. It's never seen and experienced around the world. What could you say about the crowd management and the role of the National Guard in the easiness of movement of those massive numbers of people?
That's the realism of the challenge we are facing, of moving over 2 million people from one spot to another in a definite time.
Exactly.
They need to be there in a definite time, and they need to move from there to another place in a definite time. The whole amount of 2 million and some need a huge effort from all forces in order to help them achieve what they are coming for, doing their ritual and achieving their 5th pillars. Of course, we are doing this successfully, and we are thanking God for helping us and helping the pilgrims for that huge amount, moving from one place to another successfully with no accidents, with no delay. You know, before sunset they need to be in a place. So
Yes,
if half of them won't be there at the right time, we are ruining their
pilgrimage.
Their pilgrimage. Yeah. So we are doing that successfully, and we are thanking God for helping us.
Major General, this accumulative experience it doesn't come from nothing.
Sure.
It needs a great training. It needs continuous training, direct directions from the upper officers until the lowest grade among the soldiers. How far and how did you build such an experience over the years to train all your personnel to make this harmony among the movement of the pilgrims, as well as their security, because that's the main concern of the Saudi leadership as well as the Saudi forces?
The forces coming here to Mecca in order to help the pilgrims to achieve their pilgrimage have two sides: their military side training and their support side training for the pilgrimage. So, for instance, physical training in order to stand up there under the sunlight for hours.
Yes, exactly.
That's a need a high physically fit soldier in order to do so. If we also talk about the experience and the lessons learned from year to year, it's an accumulated information and experience. Some of those soldiers have been doing this for 20 years, some for 25 or maybe more, and they are experienced with what they are doing. From our side as a commanders, every year we review the plans we have done, and we see the shortcoming if there is some, and you know, we moderate the new plans ahead of time, and we gain the knowledge this way. Mostly we are experienced, and believe me, moving 2 million people and some from one spot to another in a certain time successfully is a big challenge, and we win that challenge.
It's a great task by itself.
Yeah.
General, also, now going back, you told me a while ago that all these services are provided by the Ministry of the National Guard under the directions of Prince Mut'ab bin Abdullah to provide medical services, support services, as well as security dimensions. Also, you're watching over the security, which is the main concern. So it's not only by standing there. The soldier has to be awake and
Yeah, to be aware of it.
vigilant to
That's-
to the safety and security
yeah,
of the pilgrims, right?
those issues are brought up to their attention. That don't forget yourself and doing something while your security, also security mission, need you to be aware of what is going on around you, and they are doing well.
Unfortunately, through many years, we have experienced some people who tried to ruin the Hajj or trying to disturb the Hajj, and because of your efforts, you have kept the security for the people, for the movement in many occasions. We remember in 1407 where the National Guard Arab interfered in many occasions. So you are ready to interfere. That is one of the main tasks, to interfere if you are needed, if there are people to disturb the pilgrims as well as the pilgrimage itself.
Those who are willing to politicize the pilgrimage will not be able to do so, because we are aware of them and we are aware of their plans, and we will not allow them to achieve what they are planning to. They will not be able to. And we are sure that God will support us and will lead us, and their actions will be revealed from God to us, and they will be discovered and detected, and they will be held from harming or doing anything to the pilgrims in this holy land.
General, when we speak about 2 million people in one place, I'm sure that is a great task. It's never happening anywhere else in the world.
True.
A while ago, I had a lawyer from Britain who really cried, and his tears went out, because he said, what I hear in Britain and in Europe, it was so much lies and false news. What I have seen from the security forces, the National Guard, as well as the military who are participating, and the people, the volunteers, the young Saudis who are volunteering, it is a great experience. It's unprecedented anywhere else. We know the World Cup is a few days and maybe 200 to 300,000, but now the number reached, as what is announced, 2 million plus 2.6 million. That is a great number. I'm sure we realize that your role is great, and we wish you all the best. I don't want to take much of your time.
I want to say something. I want to add something to what you have said. During your introduction, you have mentioned that we are asking God to praise us for what we are doing to the pilgrim. We are not asking from anyone else. I would love to add that we are not only not asking from someone else to admit what we are doing to the pilgrimage, to the pilgrims, but also we are not caring whether they are admitting or not. We know that some people try to hide the sunlight with 5 fingers, and he won't be able to.
Major General, I want to thank you, sir, for joining me those few moments, and hopefully that you're successful in your mission as always, and wish you all the best, and your forces as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The viewers, as we said, as we have met, I want to thank at the end of this meeting His Excellency Major General Saad bin Maslih al-Harthy, the commander of the Ministry of the National Guard Force participating in the Hajj. The National Guard, along with the other forces of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, plays a great role in the security of the pilgrims since they step in to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia until the moment they leave back home safely. Our main concern, government, leadership, commanders, officers, people of Saudi Arabia, is your security, is moving from a place to another in ease and comfort. Saudi Arabia, government and people will continue to provide these services, whether people will admit it or we don't, or they don't, because we believe in Almighty God, and we believe we are in the path of righteousness, and Allah Almighty will support us, because we have nothing to hide, and we will always provide these services, just seeking the mercy of Almighty God and the forgiveness and the rewards of Almighty God. Once again, I want to thank Major General Saad bin Masleh al-Harthy, hoping all the success for all the forces and the volunteers participating in your services, and under the leadership of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz, the Crown Prince, as well as the Minister of the National Guard, His Royal Highness Prince Mut'ab bin Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz. Thank you, and stay tuned with us for more coverage here in Saudi too.